Hi, my name is Kelsey Burkett. I work for the College of Health and Human Sciences, where the School of Social Work is situated. Before we get going with our second ever Leadership in Social Work speaker series featuring Ray Jackson, Ray asked me to call up a very special person in the audience, Brad Schaefer. So Brad, do you mind coming on up? And Ray, I'm going to pass the mic over to you to say a few words.
Thank you. They asked me to put on this mic. Usually I don't wear mics because I think my voice is loud enough. But I wanted to actually have Brad come up here. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but you're talking about an 18-year-old walking on campus from just down the street in Montbello to step on a campus and in classrooms that have about 300 students there. And to walk into a classroom, and I don't know if you guys have ever had somebody to believe in you and show you something that you've never seen in yourself, but that was Brad. That was Professor Brad for me. When I walked in here thinking that I was a football player, but little did I know I was a social worker. And that's what he saw in me. And so I just want to bring you up here and say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you this.
And now I have to talk. I'm all choked up. Okay, well, I'll do my best to juggle the mic and some notes here. I just wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything important. Hello and welcome to everybody. We are so excited to be here together. My name's Charlotte Bright. I'm the director of the School of Social Work. I use she and her pronouns, and it gives me great pleasure to kick off today's event. I want to quickly acknowledge a few people who are instrumental in putting together today's event. From the Center for Lifelong Learning, Outreach, and Engagement, Paula Yuma and Chelsea France. If you don't mind, just do a little wave if I see your name. I have been asked to say that if you need a certificate of attendance, please connect with Chelsea at the end, and I believe you'll be over in the doorway area. So check in with her to get what you need if there's some documentation for your attendance. I also want to thank from the College of Health and Human Sciences, Kelsey Burkett, who you got to meet a minute ago, Avery Martin, Ben Leonard, and Asher Lockram, and Dean Youngblade. And finally, wanted to add on to what Ray said about thanking Brad and Nadine Schaefer for all they do to keep the School of Social Work's present connected with its history. And now I want to give you just a little snippet about our featured presenter, even though I know he's fully capable of talking about himself and giving his own introduction. I just wanted to say welcome home to the School of Social Work and to CSU, Mr. Ray Jackson. Mr. Jackson graduated from CSU with a bachelor's degree in social work. While at CSU, as you might already know well, Ray was a standout on the Rams football team. He graduated as the program's all-time leader in career interceptions. As a senior in 1995, he was named first team All-Western Athletic Conference, and he was inducted into the CSU Hall of Fame in 2011. After graduation, Mr. Jackson entered the NFL draft. He played as cornerback for 6 seasons with Buffalo and Cleveland. In 2002, Mr. Jackson began his post-playing career as the Assistant Director of Player Development for the Cleveland Browns. He later spent 10 seasons as the Director of Player Development for the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he implemented the organization's career transition program and coordinated the club life skills seminar. In 2015, Mr. Jackson moved back to Colorado to join the Denver Broncos leadership team. He is now entering his 8th year, is that right, with the Denver Broncos, second as Vice President of Player Development, and his 21st season overall working in the NFL. In his role as Vice President of Player Development, Mr. Jackson spearheads the Broncos off-the-field training and education for players through various club and league-supported initiatives. He also facilitates several other support programs aimed at maximizing players' potential and ability to achieve their goals on and off the field. Sorry about that. That's the microphone. During his tenure in the NFL, Mr. Jackson has been part of 3 Super Bowl winning teams. Can you imagine? He's a graduate of Denver's Montbello High School, as he mentioned a minute ago. He and his wife, Natalie, have 5 children and 4 grandchildren. Mr. Jackson is an instrumental advocate in the College of Health and Human Sciences, having recently joined the Executive Leadership Council. And for those of you in the room who are social workers like me, I think you'll get from this presentation that although his career has been very unique, he is just the consummate social worker. So please join me in welcoming home Mr. Ray Jackson. Let's see.
Again, thank you. Can everybody hear me? Thank you for having me. Kels, thank you so much for the opportunity to come out. Dean, thank you so much for having me. And thank all you guys for coming out and just letting me have this opportunity to come speak to you guys. Let me put this on real quick. So who I am, what I am. One thing I want to start off by, I'm going to leave this out there first. Remember this: what, when, why, and where. That's what I want you guys to remember before I start. So yes, my name is Ray Jackson. I grew up in Montbello, which is about an hour away from here. At that time, when I grew up, it was a legit hour. Now, when I drive up here, it's about an hour and 15 minutes. So, but that's neither here or there. How many of you guys, by a show of hands, remember when you were introduced to social work and what that looked like? So for me, when I knew about social work was as a young kid when I would go to an office in school and they would hand me some food to take home. When I would go to an office and they would say, here's a jacket that you can have. I didn't know that we were less than ideal. I came from less than ideal circumstance. My mom would never allow me to know that. She took great pride in it. But also, the social worker is probably the most unknown person in any school. Everybody knows who the academic counselor is because everybody goes to see him, he or she. Everybody knows who the principal is. And if you love to eat like me, you know who the cafeteria people are because I love to eat. And so the gym teacher, the science teacher, but the social worker is the most prestigious position, in my opinion, that is unknown. It's like having insurance. You don't need it until you need it. And every day that you guys walk up and you get up in the morning, there's a decision and a choice and a consequence to everything we do. And that's the beauty of social work. When you think about social work is really about helping people. Helping a social, economical, a community, people. For me, every day that I wake up, so I'll give you a little backdrop. Again, I grew up in Montbello. I came to Colorado State, graduated from Colorado State, played in Buffalo for a few years. And when I got there, it was a lot of things that I saw that guys were going through. And so let me rewind coming back here. When I stepped on this campus, I had no idea what I wanted to do. Actually, I wanted to do criminal justice at first. But I thought about all the people that invested in my life. Like I said, I was that kid that everybody knew I was great in sports. Everybody knew I was great. But what they didn't know was I was that kid that was going home possibly with no gas and light on. What they didn't know was I was that kid that was probably going home that might not have no food. Even though my mom worked at a school and helped the school out. I was the youngest of 4. What they didn't know is when I went home, I didn't even know that I was coming from less than ideal circumstances. But I had people in my life that gave me something. They gave me an opportunity to see something that I didn't even see in myself outside of sports. For some people that know me, they know I always say it all the time. Football's what I do. It's not who I am. I was a football player. Social work, we talk about social work. Many of you guys are in here, social work. For me, it's a social opportunity. It's a social privilege. It's not work to me. I love doing what I do. Love it. Very passionate about it. I love people. I'm a lover of people. Every day that the good Lord allows me to wake up and put my feet on the ground, I get excited. I don't have to get to work to 9 in the morning. I always get there between 4:30 in the morning and 4:50 at the latest. Because I love to go in my office, I put my face down on the ground, just ask God, give me discernment for whoever comes in my life to that moment. Whatever player, whatever wife, whatever mother. That's what social work is every day. And I question you guys, how many times you guys have walked into class and maybe saw a fellow student and not said, good morning, how you doing? You guys would be amazed what you guys can do and how you guys could change somebody's life by a simple good morning, how you doing? Some of you guys know who I'm talking about, that you come in sometimes and you're working 2 or 3 jobs just to get your tuition paid, and all you need is a simple, how you doing? Is everything okay? For somebody just to tap into you for 1 second of your life. That's what Brad was for me, because I knew my mom didn't have much, but it was okay. And even to this day, I'm extremely blessed. Yes, I've been in the league a long time now, and I always tell my players there's a difference between wants and needs, and I don't want for anything other than for my players to do great, for their wives to do great, for them to be the best husband that they can be, the best father that they can be. And so I go back. And so social work, that's all those things that social work embodies. Every day that you guys come to class, it's about just being there, being present with that person. Like I said, one of your classmates that you might not have ever spoken to, just to say a simple, how you doing? Good morning. Take the time to see what they're doing. you'll be amazed how you change their lives. And so how does social work impact me every day? It's not only football. Football is a small part of what I do, to be honest with you. Before I came in here, I was out there just talking to the GM. A lot of things that I do, it's unseen. You can't look it up. You can't Google it. One of the first things that I do in my job when we get our new players, the first thing I do is I have everybody. So if you guys were my rookies and you guys were coming in, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you this, tell me something about yourself that I can't Google. I could care less about Google and Wikipedia. I want to know you as a human being. And then the very next thing I do is after I get done with them, I go get a Zoom call on all their parents. And I apologize to the parents, which really I shouldn't, but I tell them all, I'm going to treat every last one of your kids like my own son, because it's not a job to me. It's my passion. It's my calling. And if you think about social work, you really got to be passionate about it. You can't just go in there just, oh, okay, I got to go to work. And if you think it's about work, it's not. It's a passion. It's a calling. You got to love people. I had a player ask me this probably about 3 months ago. He said, man, Ray, all of them call me Ray Jack. Ray Jack, how do you do it? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, how do you have so much patience with every guy? He says, man, it's 69 guys that you're attending to and their spouses or their parents. How do you do it on a high level like that? I said, because it's not work, it's my passion. I love it. I love doing it. Any of you guys could call me at any time. And what I'm about to tell you guys, I know it may go over your head because some of you guys might not even know what it looks like. And it's a 4-letter word, and that's love. Some of you guys might have never felt it or seen what it looks like. But all my players, everybody I've ever been around, whether it's football or not football, when I tell you I love you because you're a human being. I know you have a story. Every last one of you guys has a story. And as I speak right now, some of you guys are going through that story, that hurt, that pain that you went through as a youth, whether it be from mom, dad, aunt, uncle, a coach, a professor. But you also know that person that gave you something that money can't even give you, a degree can't give you. See, I don't have a PhD, but I have a PhD in life. Because there's nothing that any of you guys can tell me that I haven't experienced myself or seen firsthand. And so again, I encourage you guys, as you guys go about and you guys continue to live and think about what social work looks like, the reason why I said what, when, why, or where, every last one of us are in that spot. What am I going to do? When am I going to do it? Why am I going to do it? We all have that. You're at some point in your life right now. What, when, why, or where? Why am I going to do it? Why am I in social work? Where am I going to do it? What city? What state? Who do I want to help? Is it a youth group? Is it the elderly? Is it student body? Is it faculty? Who do I want to work with? You guys got to have to be able to answer that question, because if you can't, but if you're answering your parents' question of what you want to be or why you want to do it, man, you're going to be miserable. You're going to wake up and you're going to be like a hamster on a wheel, running in place. I liken it to probably every car now, unless you have a 1980 or early 90 car, has a navigation system, right? And when you get in there, your car, and you push navigation, you have to push a significant or specific spot. But if you just push navigation, just the map comes up. But in order to go somewhere, you got to put an address in. How many of you guys are familiar with Waze? You guys know what Waze are? I love it. My neighbor introduced me to it, and I go to Grand Junction a lot of times, and unfortunately, sometimes I can have a heavy foot, so it really comes in to play when it tells me a police officer's up ahead of me. So, but the great thing about Waze, when you put in that navigation, it will tell you a detour and where to go and what to do. That's life, man. You guys have to have somebody in your life that you trust that can really be honest with you and tell you truths about yourself. Because a lot of times we go through life, and in today's society, and I'm not beating up on this generation or anything, but we look across the globe on a phone to see what, why, and where other people are doing. And we lose touch of what we're doing, who we are, who we've been designed to touch, what we've been designed to do, because we're worried about somebody else validating what we want to do or how we want to do it. And so you start losing touch of yourself. God bless you. One of the things I always share with some of my players, and you guys may be too young, but if you're a movie buff, you might know it. Jason Bourne. How many of you guys are familiar with the movie Jason Bourne and Bourne Supremacy? Here's a bad dude that was a killing machine. He didn't know who he was, why he was doing it, how he was able to kill. Think about that. For some of you guys are in your 3rd, 4th, 5th year of college right now. And the more you immerse yourself in school, you kind of lose who you are, what you like, what's your favorite colors, What makes you smile? What makes you laugh? Because you're so immersed into this thing that you kind of lose touch of reality. Reality is great. Change is great if you embrace it. Sometimes we don't want to embrace the change, but change is great. As I come up here and I look at this campus and I'm looking at the new building, oh my goodness. The new stadium on campus, oh my goodness. I was a part of a group that was here, and Brad, I know you remember this, and anyone else that was here, Blanche, I know you'll remember this. In '94, and we beat Arizona. Arizona, I believe, was like the number 3 school in the country or whatnot, supposed to win a national championship. We go there and we beat them. And we turn on the news and Old Town's just going crazy. They're tearing down the goalposts. We didn't even play here. And they're running through the city. And to be a part of something like that, change, a future, that's what social work is about. Think about that family member, that sibling, that young man, that young lady that you guys might have crossed or passed ways with in Old Town that doesn't know if they're gonna have a meal or not. And a simple, here you go. Take one of those extra lunches, here you go. It'd be amazing to you and what it gives you to help that person. That's what social work is every day that you wake up and you get to be a part of somebody's life, their future, their what, when, why, and where. Where am I going? Why am I going? Why did I make this decision to do this? Because life is hard enough, but man, when you immerse yourself into somebody else's life, I call it, you call it what you want, but I call it being part of that, the greatest fraternity ever made, which is Me Phi Me. And you guys know who you are. If you're a part of that Me Phi Me fraternity, it's all about me. I don't care about you, I'm gonna get mine. Man, you gotta change that. You have to change that, because that's not what social work is about. Social work is about giving of your time, your expertise, also a lending ear, something that you can't get back, time you can't get back. So I encourage you again, if you guys want to do the social work and you call yourself a social worker, give of your time, give of your ears, give of your heart, give a little love. And if you don't know what love looks like, watch the right person. We had a speaker, and this is the last, I want to open it up to questions for you guys. We had a speaker that came in, it's probably about 6 years ago, and it was about domestic violence. And he came in and he's speaking to the team on this particular day. And he grew up watching his dad beat on his mom. And he talked about, man, I knew my dad loved my mom and boom, 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 all that. And so I was gonna say it in front of everybody, but I waited till the session was over. And forgive me if this affected anybody, but after the session was over, I said, you have to be careful what you deem what love is. See, what you thought love was seeing dad beat on mom and then dad say, Mom, I love you. Why did you make me do that? So as a young man, you deem that to be love. That's not love. That's not love. True love is it's selfless. That's what true love is, of you giving your time to somebody. So understand and really figure out what love is. Know who you are as a human being, as a man, as a one man. If you're a dad, know what kind of dad. Mom, what kind of mom do you want to be? I always question my players all the time. What kind of dad do you want to be? What kind of grandfather do you want to be? Because it'll tell me a lot about yourself. When's the last time you went and really self-reflect? I was telling somebody earlier today, for me personally, this just works for me. After every season's over with, when I was in Pittsburgh, when I was in Cleveland, when I was in Buffalo, we would drive 24 hours back here. I don't mind flying, but I love driving. So now, here when our season's over with, I drive back east to see my grandkids. I love it because I get the chance to self-reflect. What kind of dad am I? What kind of coworker am I? Did I reach somebody? Even after work, I make a point, everywhere I've lived, at least 20 minutes away from my job. So when I'm leaving, I get to transition. Now, mind you, I got 68 sons just there anyway that I inherit for a team and their wives. But when I get to transition, I'm putting on a husband hat, a dad hat, all that other stuff I got to put away. I have to put away. And my players know if they ask me to go somewhere, once I cross that threshold, if it's not about family, I'm not doing it. If you're not inviting me and my family, I'm not going to do it. But I do it so I can reflect. Did I reach everybody? Have I ignored one player? Did I not pay attention to somebody? One thing about it is because of social work, if you really watch whatever you want to do, watch mannerisms, watch body language, a person to tell you what they're going through. Here's one tip I'll give you, and then I'll open up the question. One thing about it, You see a person that's smiling a lot, and all of a sudden they start coming around with a hoodie on their face, and you keep asking them, is everything all right? It's something about that they're hiding. You may not know what it is, but we all have it. We all have tendencies that we'll show, but you got to take time. You have to take time to invest in those people in their lives. And that's what social work gives you. Social work gives you something that money can't buy. When you see a person that you've worked with and you've helped, myself or Ray Jackson, to be able to come from where I've come from and to be able to be where I am right now, I was lucky that I was even going to make it my freshman year, to be honest with you. But somebody saw something in me that I didn't see. And I know you guys know who that person is. Again, whether it's a youth group, whether it's a church group, whether it's somebody that's walking down on campus, whether it's somebody in Old Town, it's somebody that you guys can impact right now. And some of them, it's a simple, good morning. How are you doing? Good evening. How are you? How's your family? Mom, how are you doing? Dad, how are you doing? Sis, how are you doing? The one thing we don't get back in life is time. So when you give of time of yourself, that's a beautiful thing. That's something you can't wrap and put under the tree. You can't wrap and give it to as a birthday present, but you can give it every single day that you wake up. Because again, you got to know your what, when, why, and where you at in life. And lastly, again, there's decisions, choices, and consequences of everything that we do when we wake up. And that's the beauty. And I know I said I'm going to give you guys time to ask questions, but I just want to, I guess, peel back some things too, what my job entails, how social work works out. And I'm not going to go into specifics. I would never tell my players things. But a lot of people think it's just about football. But see, what I do is, if you've ever had to tell a player when he's getting ready to go play a game in front of 75,000 fans, I'm sorry, your dad just passed away. That's social work. If you've had to tell a young man, I'm sorry, your son was just diagnosed with leukemia, that's social work, trying to help that he or she through that. When you get a call from a wife before the husband even knows that they had a miscarriage, that's social work. When you get a call 4 a.m. that I've just been in a car accident, mind you, the husband's sitting right next to him, but they call you, but they feel comfortable enough to call you because they trust you, that's social work. When you have an employee that comes to you, another coworker that comes to you, and they talk about intimate details of their marriage and things that's going on, that's social work. But it's also investment in time too. That is something that you have to give. You got to make more deposits than returns. Because once you keep depositing in people's lives and they see that you truly care, it's an amazing thing what they'll do for you when they know that you care. And so football is the last thing I do. I don't talk about football to these guys. I tell them too, football is what you do. Wife, fiance, significant other, it's not who you are. You're not so-and-so's wife. You're not the player's wife. No, that's not who you are. You're who God designed you to be. He's the one who got the best of it. But if they don't know it and you guys don't know it, you'll start living a life that other people have put on you and expectations of yourself rather than you dictating what happens. And so that's the one thing I just wanted to encourage you guys that there's different facets of things that you guys can do with social work. It's so broad. It's so many things you can do. So many ways that you guys can tap into it. Like I said, football is the last thing that I do on the day-to-day. The last thing I do. But like I said, when you get the calls from a loved one that's passed away or had to tell a guy or tell a wife that this is going on, the mental health thing is real. I got players the same age as you guys, some of you guys in here. And you talk about a stress killer, oh my goodness. Because the weight of the world is on them right now because they make X amount of dollars. Some of you guys might be guilty of this too because you see the letters NFL, and I tell the parents this too. Mom, Dad, you think just because he's in the NFL, he has all the answers. He don't. He's still a kid. He has no idea. Matter of fact, if I was to call probably half of my team, they're probably sitting up right now because we're off playing Madden or playing Call of Duty because it just came out. They're kids. That's what they do. But they don't know. And I hope this doesn't offend any professors in here. Think about it. We go to school 4 or 5 years, if you get your doctorate a little bit more. And when you get out of school, you know one thing that they don't teach us how to do? Some of the stuff, pay your rent, buy a car. One of the very, very, very first meetings I have with all my rookies when they get there, very first meeting, after hey, stand up, tell me something about you. My very first meeting is credit. credit. So if y'all haven't and you don't know what your credit is, I strongly encourage you, look at your credit, because once you get out, you're not getting no apartment, no house, no nothing, no car, because bad credit won't get it. But we go through school, we don't know some of the simplest things in life. Again, that's social work. Teaching a young lady, a young man, how to navigate life, how to love themselves, how to pay a bill, how to reach back out, or how to mend a relationship. And so with that, any questions, can I answer any questions for anybody? Anybody have any questions for me?
As a black man in a white female dominated field, how do you think we could make this more of a diverse career? How do we allure to people?
I think one is through love and having a great question, because that's a great question. There's not very many that's out there, but I think having that dialogue. Again, when I grew up, the social worker, you don't know who it is unless you know, because there's a reason why you're going to that person. And in some cases, when that social worker's coming to a house, probably not a good thing. Probably not a good thing. So there's the taboo of seeing a psychologist. Taboo, don't see that person. I'm a quack, I'm crazy. No. You know what I mean? And so I think it's debunking some of those things to get people to realize it's a great person to have. It's a great occupation to have. If you're getting in it for money, wrong. We all know that. You're not making no money. That is not happening. And again, that's why I go back and I said that if you're in it for money, you're not gonna make a lot of money. But the investment that you get and the investment on your return, when you see a young lady or a young man make it from less than ideal circumstances, abusive relationship, a hatred relationship, it does not get better than that. And so to bridge that gap, I think it's continuing to have these conversations of what it looks like. You don't know if you don't see it. When I grew up, honestly, it's probably like the kids now. As an African-American male, and I was gonna share this when I first started, so I'm glad you did ask that question. I will never, ever, ever forget walking in Clark building. And I'm walking in there. Mind you, I went to a high school was probably 90% African American. And I walked in that thing and I'm the only person of color. And I'm sitting in that thing like, oh my goodness. First of all, from where I came from, nothing good came from Montbello. Nothing good. They called it Mount Ghetto. So that was one of the stigmas I had to get. We were known for sports. Because at that time we were dominant in track, dominant in basketball, dominant in football, wasn't dominant in education. But yet, a guy came up here before me, a year before me, a guy named Andre Strode, who graduated. One of my other teammates went to Ohio State, so I took a trip to Ohio State. Another one went to Miami, so I went to Miami. And so getting there, I didn't feel like I fit in. I was sitting there like, are you kidding me? That's what a lot of the females right now are feeling getting into professional sports right now. It's a male-dominated sport, so how dare you think you know about football, basketball, hockey, or any of those sports? Guys, I don't have a PhD. I don't. But I have a PhD in life, and you live long enough and you assert yourself long enough, there's nothing you can't do. And so that's the one thing I would say is immersing yourselves into it, showing that you can do it. My daughter, I was telling Kelsey, we was walking over here, so she graduated here in 19, and I'm at work one day and she tells me, hey guys, guess what? I'm going to Houston. Wait, what happened? When did we say we was going to Houston? Well, she went with the Texans. Now she grew up, when I was playing, when I finished playing, she was 3. So all she knows is football, and this is my youngest one. All she knows is football, professional sport. So she's been around it. I don't know if you guys know these names, Troy Polamalu. So she's seen all the big name guys you can see. She's not enamored by it. But when she went to Houston, then months later, she gives me a call. Oh, I'm coming back, I'm going with the Nuggets. Okay, well, when did that happen? When did you do all that? But the one thing I've always told her, and I encourage all you females in here, every last one of you, from the time all my girls were small, I always told them, when you walk in the room, command the room. You deserve to be in there. Nobody's ever given you anything. So when you walk in there, I don't care if you're going to London, Italy, anywhere that you don't know where you're at, put your shoulders back and act like you've been there before. Because other people in the building don't know if you have or not anyway. But act like you've been there before. Earn that. Go in there. Let them know you know what you're doing. It doesn't take a female that you have to play football to know. If you're a human being and you have feelings, you know what it feels like. You might not know what it feels like to hit somebody going 15 miles per hour. No, but you're right. But you have empathy, sympathy, and you know what it looks like. So that's what I would say. Anything that you guys want to do, immerse it. Get your way in there and show them I'm willing to learn anything. So here's one thing. Sorry to be long-winded. So in football and the NFL, when you get cut, all they do is call you and say, hey, I need my playbook. Come up and see you. We'll get your playbook and you're done. Football is the closest thing to being married, whether you've played 5 years, 10 years, and you've been married, and you walk in. Imagine this, you guys are dating or you're married, and you walk in, and your wife or your husband or significant other says, you know what? I love you, but I don't want to be married to you anymore. I want a younger, faster, stronger husband or wife. That's what it's like when you get cut. That I've given everything to you. I've played hurt. I've done this. I've done that. And now you tell me you want a younger, faster, stronger after me having 5 surgeries, and that's what you're going to do? Again, football is what I do. It's not who I am. But if you get it twisted and you put it in a different, that's why a lot of guys and a lot of people struggle. Doctors have some of the worst credit, my understanding. Because all their life they've been in class and in school that they forget there's a thing called bills. There's a thing called reality that you've got to stay in your means. And so I encourage you again, just to, whatever it is, keep having the conversations about it. Tell them your viewpoints. Because if we don't share our viewpoints, how can we ever move the needle if we don't ever share our viewpoints? Too many people are so sensitive that it's my way or the highway. Well, there's 2 ways of doing it. So thank you.
You're clearly very passionate about the job, which I love. Do you ever feel like, I know a lot of us right now are feeling very burnt out because the system is made to burn us out. It's harmful, it's oppressive. Do you ever lose that passion, and how do you get it back?
Never. I don't. I'm serious. I don't. I don't. But because it's gloomy. Think about like Colorado. We don't have very many days that the sun does not come out. I don't know if you guys know Annie, the little girl, orphan. The sun will always come out tomorrow. That's the beauty about it. It's never as bad as they seem. See, when you think about it, as a society, we love negativity. We love bad. But if you sit back, even if you have your worst day ever, and you really think about it, I guarantee you, I don't care if it's relationships or whatever, I guarantee your good days outweigh your bad days. But in today's society, we want to make this gloom and doom for everything. For example, I don't know if you guys are Bronco fans. I know a lot of people are from different states. So we just traded a young man, Bradley Chubb, like a son to me. I flew to Dallas when we drafted him, picked up him and his family, flew him back here. And so it was tough. It really was to see us trade him. It was hard. And the one thing I told him, I had to remind him, man, this is a new beginning. Don't look at it as a failure. You've out-kicked your coverage with Denver. Denver, we can no longer satisfy you. It's time for you to go. But see, society would have told us that, man, it's just a negative. Everything is just bad. It's bad. It's bad. Now, I could have went down that path and lived it. But the one thing I had to tell some of our players as well was it would be no different. Again, because you do get tight when you're involved with it. But I had to remind the guys, it would be no different if he tore his ACL. We would lose him for the year. We still have a job to go do. So even in social work, you may not reach that young lady or that young man or that mom or that kid right then and there, or that supervisor or that boss right then and there. But when you go each and every day and do service with a smile, that's contagious. It's contagious. If we all started coughing or yawning, it's amazing how the people start yawning. They ain't even tired, but you just do it. And that's the thing about social work, man. When you love what you do and you walk in, forgive me if this is somebody in here. I recall some social workers, man, that you go and you see them and they got the old sweater on and they just look like gloom and doom. Like that's what social work is. Like you don't have any fun. You go there and you're miserable. How can you be miserable when you get an opportunity to make change in somebody's life? For that young man, that young lady, they may be contemplating suicide, contemplating shooting something in their arms, contemplating doing something negative, and they give you a moment of time to change or alter their future. That never gets old, never, ever. I love it. And that's why I say when I get there every morning between 4:30 and 4:50, Very first thing I do. Very first thing, I go in my office, close the door. I don't even turn on the light. I don't touch my phone. I take my phone out of my pocket, and I get my face down. Lord, whoever comes in here, help me. Give me discernment what to say. Not me. I don't want to say it because I'm going to give you a worldly vision anyway. But what do you want me to say? What does he or she need? If that wife or that mom that calls me, what does he or she need that I can't give them personally? So that's how I recharge every day. And then lastly, when I walk in my house, my kids don't care about, well, when they were smaller, they don't care about dad, whether you won a game, lost a game. All they care is dad is home. For that young lady, if y'all work at a group home or retirement home, I used to work at one over here my senior year. Well, let me give you a quick story. Blanche, I know you know this. So I got to share this one. So you're looking to get, like I said, when I first got here, I loved football, loved it. And so I'm not going to say the coach. This particular coach didn't like the fact that my classes, social work classes, were around football time. So I ain't gonna lie to you guys. If you guys ever walk by that practice field, believe it or not, players envy you guys. At the time, we used to practice by Moby Field, and around this time, it started getting dark a little bit earlier. A little bit more snow on the ground, the leaves are falling. When we leave class, when you guys leave class, they're going to practice. And they're going to practice for 3-4 hours for a coach to get on them about everything. And so I had a coach that didn't like the fact that all my social work classes, and again, thank God I had Brad that took the time to understand where I was coming from. And so my coach was like, Ray, you got class around this time. I mean, you got practice. Well, I said, Coach, well, you might have to play the dude that's behind me. I didn't come here to not graduate with my degree. So literally, I only practice on Thursday, probably 30 minutes on Thursday and Friday. Friday's walkthrough. You don't even practice on Friday because we play on Saturday. But I had determined for me, again, I know my passion. I love football, but man, I love people. I love kids. I love going over to that retirement home, sitting there playing checkers with the men and women. I love going in that retirement home and seeing a makeshift car and the elderly that can't drive anymore, they get in that makeshift car and you would think they really driving down Mulberry. I love going in that retirement home and I see the ladies and the beauticians that would come in and they got a chance to get their hair done. Because a lot of them, guess what? For some of them, their son or daughter had to drop them off and they hadn't seen anybody. They don't have conversation. If you guys have parents that's older, man, I encourage you guys, please, please, please call them. I know some of you guys may say, man, they talk too much. Listen to them. Just let them talk. Just let them talk because you guys are going to be there one day. And that loneliness is real. I'm telling y'all, that's real when they're by themselves. Some of you guys have been in your dorms by yourself. Am I going to pass this test? Am I ready for this test? And there's nothing like when you go home, you had that home cooked meal. So that's one thing I would say is I love that passion because, again, I'm grateful for everything that I have, everything, because I couldn't have got here by myself. So thank you. Someone else? Yes. Yep, I'm sorry.
I was going to ask you similar to the question, like how, it sounds like you have a lot of intention around filling yourself up, and that's like a daily practice for you. And so that was going to be my question, like how do you keep yourself filled?
Yeah, again, what, when, why, and where. You got to know it. You got to know yourself better than anybody else. A lot of people are going to give you opinions about what you should do with your life, but nobody knows you better than yourself. I tell my players all the time, too, and even to my coworkers, it's okay to cry. God gave us tear ducts for a reason. It's okay to be sad. It's okay. It's okay to be mad. But again, the sun comes out tomorrow, man. When you look at it, it could always be a lot worse. But I know my days, my best days are always going to be ahead of me. Because again, when I get a chance to make a difference in somebody's life, today one of the other teams called me today and just asked me about something. And I didn't even know that one of the players I had was there. And he quickly jumped on the phone and was so ecstatic. And what's funny about it, as we're talking, I said, do you remember our first interaction? Now, mind you, you have guys that's drafted, and then you have guys that's not drafted. Guy that's not drafted, chance of you making the team, it's a lot harder. So mind you, this guy, he's non-drafted. His flight is at, let's say, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock comes around. This young man doesn't even make his flight. He misses his flight coming in for his dream that he wants. He's lived his whole life for this dream. And so what I was getting him to understand, I said, man, look at it now. He's going into the 9th year. I said, a lot of things about life, man, it's not how you start, it's about how you finish that thing. And the fact that and this was a guy that was rough around the edges. I mean, rough. But it took time, and that's how our relationship started, because I had compassion for him. And that's what again, that's what we're about. You got to have some type of compassion because all of us have a story. And so again, that's what recharges me because I can't quantify, I can't come in here with a PowerPoint and show you what I do on a daily. It's when I get those calls years from now about how you impacted my life. And I pray that the good outweighs the bad of somebody's life. Again, that my greatest thing, and each team is different. There's 32 NFL teams. Some guys try to push their guys to go back to school. Some guys, hey, go get your master's. Some start your business. I'm big on family. I am huge on family. And my guys know it. I'm a touchy, feely, love you, hug you, good, bad, or indifferent. Sometimes just what you guys ask me. I've had players, unfortunately, the last few years we've been losing. Ray, I'm tired of you being so joyful when we come in this locker room after. Well, what else am I going to be? Gloom and doom? I hate losing too, but what else do we have? You know what I mean? I only know how to be positive. I hate losing with a passion. My family knows it. We get in the car, I'm probably not going to say much at all. But then when I get home, now I'm wired, so now I'm not going to go to sleep till 3, and I'm getting up at 4:30 because now I'm waking my wife up and talking about the game because now I'm ready to, I don't know why we didn't do this and how come we didn't do that, you know? And so, but I only know how to be positive. And to me, that's what social work is about, positivity, bringing great energy. Each and every day you wake up and you walk in that building, somebody needs it. Somebody needs it, probably more than what we do. Great question, thank you. Any other question? Life tells us, man, you gotta live fast and furious. You gotta have all the answers. Like right now, some of you guys probably getting ready to graduate and you think you're supposed to have all the answers. That's what life is. You gotta live it to the maximum. Figure out who you are, what you like. It's okay to fail. That's part of us now. Nobody wants to fail. Man, that's, so quick story, I'm gonna get back. So when I played, it was a thing that, matter of fact, we were playing Wyoming. And it was a guy named Ryan Yarbrough. He was leading the nation in receivings, touchdowns, all that. And here I am as a freshman playing against this dude. And I'll never forget, he beats me on one play, touchdown. Their band's going crazy, it's Larry, man, it's Wyoming, all that stuff. But they're going crazy. Flag on the play. So as a freshman, I know they're going to go back. And in that moment, I learned good play, bad play. For me, this is me. Now, this is where I do belong to the Me 5 Me program. I said, for me, I'm going to thank God for every opportunity that I have. Because in that failure, I learned something. Guess who they was going to go back to? The freshman that's on that All-American right there. So the very next play, they come back at me, and I'm up impressed, but I drift off just enough because I know they're going to throw that ball right back at me, and I break it up. So why do I say that? Because in some of our failures, man, you learn so much about yourself. But if you're afraid to fail, you're never going to reach the full potential that you have because you're always going to hold something back. I tell our guys all the time, man, unload, let it out. What do you have to lose? You guys are young. You guys have so much life ahead of you. It's okay to do it right now. Now, when you start getting your 50s and 60s and 70s, you got to be a little bit more wiser. We were talking about earlier, we were talking about getting on the scooters, Dean. I'll be 50 in February. I'm not getting on no scooter now. Zero chance. I don't even want to attempt to do it because I'm afraid of falling off of it. Guys always ask me, you think you can dunk? I don't even want to try to jump. And it's not the going up. For me, honestly, it's about me coming down. Like, I feel everything. Every time I wake up, it's something different. And so again, I'm going to go back to being a social worker. You never know how you can impact somebody's life. For me, well, my guys, man, they make me feel energized. Youthful people make me feel energized. The elders, they make me feel energized, man. If you ever look at this love right here, you kidding me? I can only wish to get like that, me and my wife. I want that. So that's the energize. So supporting the family, it's talking to them on the regular, every day. When a guy gets hurt, for the mental health aspect of it, that stuff is real. You're talking about alpha males that from the time they were young, they were always picked first. Think about our women's soccer team. National team, they were always picked first. They're the best, they're the cream of the crop. But all of a sudden, you know what happens in their life? At some point in their life, they're going to be told they're not good enough anymore. That's a devastating feeling. It was even for me. It was, but it wasn't because, again, I loved football, but I loved life. I loved my family. So actually, it was pretty cool when they was like, Ray, you know what? Mind you, we was on a road game when it happened to me. And it was like, Ray, we love you, a special teams captain, but we're going to have to let you go. All right, cool. I just had my 5th son. I'm cool with that. Let me go. I'm going to enjoy with my wife, kids. Now, unfortunately, 3 days later, what happened? 9/11. Some of you guys were probably just born. So it's a day that I will never, ever remember. And what's crazy about it, because I was flying to San Jose to work out for the 49ers at that time, you know? And so family is so big, not only in sports, in life in general. That's the one great thing about what I get to do on Sundays, especially when the Super Bowl comes around, because on Sundays, man, there's family members, there might be some of you guys in here, that you guys haven't talked to family members in years. But it's amazing, boy, when that Super Bowl comes, man, you bring family across the globe just to get with one another and enjoy that Super Bowl Sunday. And that's the thing that I get every game as that national anthem plays, I get teary-eyed, honestly, because I'm so grateful and thankful for where I am, a kid that had never been in a stadium before. And I get a chance to be next to this guy, that guy, this coach, the ball boy, the water girl. Like right now, you asked me earlier, we're part of one of the few, well, actually, I was part of one of the only teams that had a full-time female trainer, and that was in Pittsburgh Steelers. Now she's working, unfortunately, at CU up the road. Bad for her. But the other one, now they have a new one that's working there, and it's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful because they were willing to do things that other teams weren't willing to do.
Just like one of the refs.
Correct. Now I think there's like 3 of them, which unfortunately only the first one gets all of the fame. Now the next ones, they come up the road, it's like, Norm, no, keep talking about it, because if you don't talk about it, then it becomes whitewash, and then it's gone back. And then we get back to all males officiating, all males coaching. You know what I mean? And so that's why I say you got to continue to have that conversation. Sorry, you have your question, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, my question is for you and Dr. Schaefer. I'm interested in, you know, what is the social work professor, like what did he see in you that inspired you into the field? And Dr. Schaefer, you see in Ray that, so yeah, I'm curious what you saw in each other and how you stayed friends.
Yeah, I'll let. For me, again, he saw something in me that maybe I just didn't know. Heck, I don't know, he might have felt sorry for me. Like, man, look at this kid. He ain't not paying attention, sitting in there sleeping. I don't know. It could have been anything, but I'm so grateful that he did. And for me, I'm big on, it's not what you tell me. It's not what you say to me. It's about how you treat me. And I always tell guys a lot of times, I treat people the way I didn't like being treated. It's easy to treat people the way you want. No, how I didn't like treated. If you dismiss me, that's a devastating feeling. He never dismissed me, not one time. He invested in me, took time to talk to me. Even though, like I said, at times when everybody else is coming there, and for me, heck, you start getting those upper classes, I was 18, 19 years old, and some of them were 25, 26 with full families. I'm sitting there like, I don't have a clue what this looks like. I'm still struggling, but he took time to talk to me and work with me, knowing that I had a coach that was upset that he's not at practice and he'd work with me. And again, so I'll let Dr. Because I don't want to speak for him, so.
Well, excuse me, I have a PhD in social work and life too. And see what having I think there are several, I think of 3 different models of being a professor. And one says we want the best and brightest in our field. And they have to come in as the best and brightest, or they're not going to make it. And we know that good students makes for successful professors. And so make it tough on them. Do anything you can, and if they're going to be the best and brightest, then they're going to get through your work with them. Another category that I have seen is kind of the survival of the fittest. And that's where you give them what they need to know, and if they don't take it, that's tough. And and those that succeed will be those that work at it, and it's not too hard for you as a professor. And the one that I think fits the social work value system is one that says, I want to help you succeed. And whether it's someone like Ray or anybody else that you have in your class, if you see your primary goal as helping that person succeed, then you look at what their interests are, what their capabilities are, what their limitations are, and try to create opportunities for them to succeed. And I think Ray and I together created some opportunities, and look what happened.
Thank you.
This might be a sensitive question for anyone, so I apologize if it's a nerd. But you seem like a very religious person, and I love how passionate you are about talking about God.
Yep.
I was just wondering, how do you translate that to when you're interacting with players when they might be, not so religious or against, Christianity? So how do you still stay true to yourself, but not push your religion?
Well, as you know, I mean, there's a lot of guys that come through, co-workers as well, and I just know who I am, and I'm not going to be ashamed of who I am and what I stand for. So whether they're going to like it or not, it might offend some people, just like I said in here, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but I just know for me, I've gone without food, and I'll tell you a little bit, and I'll get to what you're saying. So I also hit up some of our Bible studies and talking with guys, and we have some guys that are atheists, and we sit there, we have dialogue. One of my closest friends from Pittsburgh is Mormon, and he would come in my office, man, we just share and just talk. Hey, I want to hear everything about you. I don't care who you are. Again, I love people. I don't care who you are, what you believe in or not. I tell our coaches, I don't care who's coaching, who my GM is. I love you. I don't care if he went out there and he left the building and he was burning flags or he was burning crosses. I don't care. I still love you. That's just who I am. You know what I mean? I dislike the action, but I love the person. So I'm able I'm willing to separate that from this. When we come in here, all I see is people. I see love. So regardless, no different than you start working with a group of people and you may go in there, true story, I hate to say it, but you go into a retirement home, man, it's times you're going to be treated bad, man. I mean, they can be mean. I don't know if any of you guys have even dealt with someone that has Alzheimer's or dementia. Woo, man, you better put on your thick skin. You're walking that bad boy, and you'll walk out of there like, oh my goodness, mom, aunt, this is me. And you get called every name in the book, but you got to understand, that's not who they are. You don't know what he or she just went through. You don't know what they're, so for me, I know who I am and I know what I believe, but I don't just thrust it on the guys. I don't, but they know where I stand. I've been that kid that no gas and light, and I would hear my mom talking to this guy, and I share this with our new players all the time, talking to this guy. Now, mind you, we lived on a corner, no grass, no nothing. But if you walked in the house, you never knew we didn't have. And I'm the youngest of four. But I would hear her crying and talking to a guy that I never saw. Mind you, it's a day I might come home, there's no gas and light. But she's talking to some guy about getting the gas and light back on or getting food. Never saw this guy. But all of a sudden, miraculously, we had food and the lights were on. So all of a sudden I figure out, okay, she's talking about this dude, God. Well, who is God? That's general. What is God? It could be money. It could be fame. It could be religion. It could be your doctorate. It could be your degree. It could be your car. So then it went to not only that, and then she started being more specific about this guy named Jesus. I'm like, well, who is this dude? I don't even know who it is. Again, miraculously, we have food, we have clothing, we have things like that. And so for me. That's what I know. My man from Pittsburgh, who's a Mormon, that's what he knew. But I wanted to know everything about him because I would be a hypocrite if I came in here and because you don't believe what I believe, now I'm going to disown you. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to tell you right now, that ain't social work. I can tell you that now. So for me, I don't care what you believe or what you don't believe in. All I know is I believe in you, believed in me. I got to believe in something. Everybody believes in something. Whether you guys realize it or not, you guys believe in something. Because I can tell you by fact. Now, one of y'all came in here and lifted up that seat to see how much it weighs and how much it's going to, be able to occupy. None of you guys blinked the eye when you woke up, put your feet on the ground, and started walking. We don't know. We say that there's gravity. We never seen it, but miraculously we stay on the ground. So for me, I don't hit them over the head with it all the time. I just know who I am. I know what works for me, and it may not be for everybody, and that's fine. You know what I mean? So that's how I am with it. You know what I mean? Like I said, actually the atheists, me and him are really, really tight, really, really tight. And so I'll give you an illustration. So before every game, when we get in the locker room, it's called the 2 minute. If you've ever been to an NFL game or you watch an NFL game, the 2 minutes right before the teams start running out. So I do all the call outs, make sure everybody gets out on time. And so right before coach comes up and talk, I'll just say prayer in the shower. Prayer in the shower, guys, so guys can go in there, because I know a lot of guys, that anxiety's real, guys. You're talking about grown men, but you're talking about dudes that if you guys ever get a chance to go to an NFL game and just be on the sidelines and watch how big these guys are and how fast they actually move. Even for me, I sit there and question, like, I'm cool with that. I don't want no parts of football now. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I don't want no parts of it. But to actually feel the size and how big they are and what they can do, it's amazing. So, like I said, I sit here and share it. And the last thing I always say, all are welcome. I don't care who you are, what you're going through, what you believe, what you don't believe. Everybody's welcome in here. Again, it may not be for everybody, and that's okay. But I want you to feel welcome. So I hope that answered your question. Any others?
You said that there's 68 players on offense. I know that number of people in that team change
Yep.
every offseason. How are you able to stay like involved with every single player and like keep track of their kind of personality?
So come every April, we go to 90. So instantly, I inherit 90 guys. Some of them are new, obviously rookie, free agent, guy you might sign. But I'm very, very intentional on that. Like I said, I watch mannerisms, body language. There's times that I will go in my office and I sit there and I say, okay, today, offensive line. That's my whole attention to detail. Every offensive player, I'm gonna go touch base with him, see how he's doing. Sometimes I might even call the wife, how is he doing? Significant, how is he doing? Mom, how is he doing? Or the next week, it may be the defensive backs, but I'm always gonna do some type of touch base with them just so they know. Sometimes I'll go in there and, again, I'm a touchy-feely guy, man, and let you know I love you. And you guys may not like this. I like to start stuff too. So I will go in there and I'll randomly just say, Auburn, man, I know y'all about to thump Alabama. Well, I got 3 first-round picks from Alabama. I just go in there and just start something, and then I just quickly retreat. Mine in the locker room, they're in there going in an uproar, just arguing about stuff like that. So then they'll come back, but it gives me a touch point with the guy to be able to touch. So that's kind of how I keep. There's different things that you can do, but you got to know your guys. You have to know them, because if you don't know them, it's hard. And that's what the guy from Atlanta today called me and asked me, how do you do this? How do you get in touch with each guy and get him to trust? Well, that's the number one thing is trust. If my guys don't trust me, like I tell ownership and the head coach and the GM, a lot of times they will never know what's going on with guys, ever, ever, ever. I'm very, very, very general when they ask me, how's so-and-so doing? I'm very, very general with that. I will never, because once I lose the trust, I won't be in the NFL long. You guys in social work, you lose the trust of somebody, they will never come to you again. You guys have friends or a loved one that you might have confided in and they shared some of your stuff, you'll never go back to that person. And so that's kind of how I do it, is just touching base with them. Like I said, it could be every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, or we're on the road. So after every game, we get in the air, let's say it's a away game. First thing I do, once we all get in the air, I walk around, I ask every guy, you doing all right? Are you healthy? I care less, I can't say that. I love when we win, but I want to know, are you healthy? Are you okay? You know, worst thing is, especially now, like with mental health, again, when you hear somebody say, I'm good, and you can see in their mannerisms they're not. You can see it, whether I may not know what it is, whether it might be the marriage, whether it be mom or dad, somebody keeps asking them, whether it be for money, whether it be for time, and they're grown men. And I don't know if this is you guys, it might be. Saying no is one of the hardest things you can do. It's hard. And so getting guys to understand that it's okay to say no to your time, it's okay to say that, you know. So that's kind of how I do it. Great question. Any other? Sorry.
So, as a social worker, we're all like mandatory reporters you ever had a situation where like a player is abusive or something towards his family and like that comes out to you, or you know, vice versa, if there's something going on in their family that's like worrisome, or they're suicidal, or need to be put on a mental health hold. You know, my second question, how do we get on the sidelines?
I'm gonna work on that one. I promise. Well, here's the first one. Dr. Hughes, you got to help me with this one now. Start by getting on that sideline. Who do we play next? Who's the Rams play next? Oh, well, you definitely got to get on the sideline with that one, and just to get a chance to see it. But we're gonna work on that. I promise you that. But that's a great question. Oh, go ahead. Now they may be like, who? Oh no, you. Section 505 for you. No, come on out. But that's really a great question, because it's a very, very, no, it's not. I don't even want to say it's a thin line, because anytime it's about health, hurting themselves or someone other themselves, oh, that's easy. I'm going to tell them. And here's one thing I tell my players anyway. See, you make the news. I just report it. So if you go get a DUI, or if you're late, mind you, if a guy's late, we can charge them anywhere up to $1,500. They lose that playbook, we can charge them up to $2,500. What you guys don't realize on game day, when you guys see if a guy's showing skin or them socks aren't all the way up, that's a fine. And it ain't like that they get to get it. No, they get a FedEx on Wednesday that's sitting at their locker for a huge fine that it's already taken out their check. So they don't even get to write the check and say, all right, I paid the fine. No, they already take it out their check. It's a good thing, it's a bad thing, but one thing you guys are gonna find in social work is pretty actually cool. When they hear what you do, everybody gets to lay all their issues on you. You know what I mean? Everybody think you got all the answers, you know what I mean? And that's why I say it's kind of cool, and that's why I say you gotta be charged up, you gotta be energized when you do it, because you just never know what today's gonna bring and who you're gonna be able to impact. So hope that answers your question.
I think we could listen to you all day, and I think we're already over time.
No, sorry.
Is that right, Paula?
Yes.
Thank you for coming. And we had such a great time hearing from you, and I have a feeling that you're not going to be able to escape us. So thanks to all for attending, and thank you especially to Mr. Jackson.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Great to see you.
Oh, great seeing you.